Well, all right. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining us. Day 3, the last 3-hour block of this week's exciting Twitch takeover here at twitch.tv/Adobe on the Adobe channel. Ouch, Mario Supa, the music. Yes, keep up the good music, says Chris. Well, we're going to cut it back a little now. Because we're going to be doing a lot of sound design. Oh, yes. So this is the collaboration, for those of you tuning in now, between Rob Zilla and Shauna X that happened earlier today, which will also adorn my latest single, which I will be premiering next Monday, or this coming Monday, in 3 or 4 days. Good hair day indeed. Hey, Alan Reed. Hey, Sangria Raptor. That's so cool.
Looks like something's
happening. You know, that's the only thing I haven't done thus far is the pre-voicing. All right, well...
You can go outside.
I'll go out and maybe just do it. Yeah, really, the iPhone is suitable for that. Octart wants it. It's so fantastic. I mean, to watch them do it, too, was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy.
And the brief.
Yeah.
The brainstorm was like, okay, what should we do? Jason here?
Is standing here. Okay, click.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. So cool. Okay, so for the next hour and 45, 50 minutes or so, we will now finish the movie trailer that we've been getting for the upcoming
so maybe
fall
we can
film, winter
explain.
film. Yes, you want to take it?
Yeah, because we started on Tuesday, and the challenge is to create a movie trailer of a movie, imaginary movie, doesn't exist. But we were like, okay, let's make a horror movie because you had some very good sounds, like so horror movie.
Right, so I pre-composed some music and
we have a green screen behind us, so this is not the Golden Gate Bridge. This is a green screen. So we said, okay, let's take some live footage with your DSLR, so I said, okay, maybe I could be a ghost. So I do a ghost, and then I do my stupid. Robert De Niro face.
There's nothing stupid about that. Your Robert De Niro is unmatched.
A classic. So
it's a classic.
So it's a movie. So not with Robert De Niro, but with a ghost who pretends he's Robert De Niro, trying to scare people. And
but there's a twist.
But he saw something.
That's right.
He saw something because something's happening. And to discover what, I mean, you have to watch the movie.
That's right.
We need to write the script first.
We need to write the script first. That would help.
That's it. Yeah.
So from there, we took it upon ourselves to shoot some stuff live, and some of you saw that. Then we went on to Adobe Stock.
Yeah, that's the point, because we cannot leave the studio. We have to run the studio. Right. So we're like, okay, we need to have a city landscape, a cityscape. So we're like, okay, there's no city in the studio.
That's right, yeah.
So we went to Adobe Stock, and because Adobe Stock is well known for photos, but there are also amazing video footage. So we took very good video footage. Actually, we were very surprised and happy by the quality of what we found. Super happy, like just in a few minutes. I mean, if you watch the replay on Tuesday, it really took us a few minutes to find very good footage, and then put everything in Premiere. And yesterday, Jason was focusing on mixing the audio in Audition.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
just finessing the cut, really,
showing and how to keep to this horror movie style.
Mm-hmm. And we removed some things too, so we had integrated sort of, and this was so cool about searching in Adobe Stock, is that we didn't exactly know what we wanted. We knew we wanted horror, but we thought, okay, it was maybe a church or buildings, and maybe creepy, and we thought, I wonder if creepy is a search term. Hundreds and hundreds of creepy
results,
and
creepy contributors, and we found a creepy contributor.
Oh yeah, these are fantastic. So if you're wondering when you're watching back where we are today, why you're seeing the Adobe Stock watermark, it's because all of this is footage that all of you could also download and ultimately license.
And
if you
as this is a fake movie, we won't license the footage,
right?
So we will keep the watermark.
Correct.
It's amazing to see, like, it would be like for a real production or a commercial, advertisement.
Yeah.
Seriously, you find everything. You just license the footage. It's nothing. The cost is nothing compared to shooting live. If you can shoot live. Of course, that's better, but it's super expensive just to rent the gear. Yeah. But like when you are in a rush like this, it's a very good example.
No, it was absolutely fantastic. And it gave us one more reason to also emphasize why some of you, or really all of you, should become stock contributors, whether you do photography, illustration, vectors, or video.
Just make it happen. Try.
Stock.adobe.com.
No risk. There's no risk.
There's no risk. Worst thing is they don't take your footage. Best thing is They take it. Now you have a catalog, and you have one more way to monetize your art.
You make money.
Yeah, I mean that's. Make that money.
Oh,
so yeah. So for today now, and we'll start.
The faith.
We kept the faith yesterday.
Yay.
There's all kinds of things going on.
Make money today.
Make money today. I thought we'd start by just
Want to
playing.
show?
Yeah, show where we left off. And so earlier this morning, now last night, again, so I was working on some early parts of the sound design, really finessing the edits, kind of really emphasizing the kind of the creepy horror aspects and just tweaking little things. Started to flatten out some things. This morning, I was really working on finalizing the sound design. Now, the mix isn't totally finished yet, but all of the elements of the sound design, and this includes everything from, we have stormy weather, rain, lightning bolts, other sort of just ambient Foley type sounds. All of these were added in Audition. You'll see the session in a moment, and then mixed back to Premiere Pro. So ultimately, what I'm going to do for the rest of today is finish the sound mix, and Michael will actually do all of the grading and all of the color finishing and color timing while I'm doing that. And somewhere, probably within about an hour or so, while Michael's probably still grading, I'll bounce into After Effects for a little bit and show some of you some of the newer features that we just didn't get to yesterday because we ran out of time. And then the last hour of today at 5 p.m. Pacific, Michael will take you through tips and tricks, new features in Photoshop and Illustrator, just released 2 days ago.
Tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks. Yes, After Effects. So I think we shouldn't delay anymore, Michael. What do you think? Let me just make sure we've got sound. Here, I'll just here I was gonna. I don't want to sneak the. Here, hold on. Let me just see if we've got sound here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm hearing it. Yeah, awesome. All right. So, are you ready? Should we do cinema mode? Why not? Okay. Now, again, this is not graded. Some of this has some treatments, or I should say, some of the footage here has some treatments performed on it, but all of the other effects and things that I've already added, which we'll add back in after Michael's done grading, we're taken off so we can just play it. So this is really just the edit, the rough cut version 4 or 5 with music and sound design. All right? So here it is. Something's happening. Take a look. All right. So, thoughts from the chat. Chris, KRJ, color grading with color finesse? No. Color grading with the Lumetri color panel? Yes. Hello, everyone. Scared movie. Brilliant, Ellen Reed. Chibi Dream, hey. Jesse, what are those? What are what?
Those mother.
10 out of 10. Nice. Limaleo. Octavia. B Design Made. Nice. So you can see, really, Spoopy, very good. There it is. There's Bobby. There's Bobby D. Can you do a dinner date with me if you win the giveaway?
It was yesterday.
That was well. Maybe that could be arranged. I don't see why not.
Who
really.
knows?
So you can see just by really integrating the sound design elements. Now it's really how will I sleep this night? All right.
This night. Something is happening.
That's what I still have to add. That's the only real sound element that's missing. So so you can really see just how by adding simple sound design elements, syncing them up, and this was all synced in Audition 2 via Dynamic Link. What a fundamental difference it makes to the entire project. And if I just open up said project, in fact, I don't even really have to open it directly, but we already have the Dynamic Link established here. So if I pull open the Something's Happening session, now we talked about this before, and we did this during Bubblecano, and you know the way that I really like to keep my sessions tidy. I tend to do a lot of adding layers, adding tracks. comping things, grouping things, flattening,
Shoo.
and then I remove all the stuff, all the, I make destructive changes.
Yeah.
I can't, especially, I mean, you can already see this isn't a huge session, but this is every
This is
track in the
already-
session. So this is all
already
the
something.
music, the screams, and most of it because I'd already pre-mixed and, well, the strings were played live. Yeah.
There's a good technical question.
Oh, yes.
How did you do the head jittering?
The head jittering, oh,
So
yes.
there is a plugin in After Effects, but in this case, this is acting.
Yeah, that's right.
This is actor studio stuff, man.
That's right. Oh, and it's also worth pointing out. So it's actually, and it's a
Almost
combination.
broke my brain.
Yeah, it's a combination of things. So some of the head jitter, there's a lot of time remapping on a bunch of these clips. So if I were just to show you very quickly, this is the original stock clip of this person against the window. And this is the kind of stuff that, I mean, I was very shocked that we just found this,
amazing.
right? It was just sort of crazy.
Is this Wendy?
Yeah. But if you just take a look at this here, and this is actually, of course, it's going to show me the actual time
course.
remapped one from the timeline here. Let me see if I can reveal it in the project. Reveal. There we go. If you look at the actual clip here,
It's very slow.
it's very slow, right? It doesn't.
Okay, it's so slow.
It doesn't feel. It feels like someone's going, okay, pretend like
yeah,
you're
no.
a zombie trying to get in.
no.
Oh, it's so dangerous.
I'm such.
But yeah, but when you go into clip speed duration, perform some time. So I'm doing a 318% speed change here, and it's funny. I wasn't even using optical flow because for speeding
this?
up,
Oh,
yeah. Slow down, slow motion,
of course.
different story.
Interpolation.
But, right, interpolation. But for speeding up, frankly,
Just spit it.
frame sampling, which was our default method in the past anyway, is really very good. And, as you can see here, without even changing anything, it just gives it a really punctuated, super creepy.
Oh, yeah, it's creepy.
Yeah, it just kind of works. So, and we did some similar things with Michael too. In fact, a couple of these clips here. Not this one. Here, I'll just kill my
This
audio
one is
for a
excellent.
second. This one is so peak. This one here. There's
Bob.
Yeah. So there's time remapping on this. So this one I actually slowed down, and here I am using optical flow.
Oh, nice.
So I slowed this down to around 40%.
So that's the. Before I had to go to After Effects.
Correct. Yes. So
Oh
this
my
is.
god, it was such.
Yep.
It was a bad workflow.
It was a bad
seriously,
workflow.
because if you cut the clip, I had to pre-render, send to After Effects.
Yes, and then you have to pre-compose to send back if you want to do any warp
Oh
stabilization.
my God.
So so now
Now it's inside, so
yes.
good.
So now that we have, and it's pixel motion based, which is the algorithm you
Yeah,
were
that's the
leveraging
one
in
I
After
want.
Effects. So this allowed us to do it here very nicely, and that added some additional kind of creepy motion in there. Similarly with this one too. This was a speed up with him standing in front of me. Now, is this the clip where you were gonna? I know you had some kind of snow or something. This one,
Yeah, but I don't think.
maybe not. Maybe
it would
just a
add.
blur. Okay,
I can try. I still have it.
I'll leave it to your mastery to throw some things in there, and then really, I mean, again, we've done some subtle corrections here. This one too. Now, on some of these, you're not seeing the effects. Actually, on this one you are. So here you can see I've actually got some splotches and some grain and some other things that I've already added to the layer below. That's an Adobe stock clip. Those are once again misfire by Red Giant, and it's just all film type distortions, grain,
Classic.
splotches, right? All the classic stuff. And it works for this. I mean, right? It's very easy to get cheesy with those things, but
Oh yeah, that's what we need.
and my favorite one though, it's not on right now, is the fly, because with the splotches and that creepy sound in there, yeah. And that was actually, those were electronical sounds. Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
I just tweaked them. Yeah, I didn't have any
Oh.
bugs. I had mammals. I didn't have insects. So, but that's the essence of sound design, right? You just get creative and try and find interesting things to do. So yeah, so this is the session. Okay. Oh, and I muted myself. Sorry. All right. Here's everything, and you can see we did. So here's where we did our remix of that short part of that string, and it just kept repeating that one section over and over.
You want to cut the music?
All right, here's where we started to. Here's where we started to. Oh, that really makes a difference.
Yeah.
Here's where we started to augment the strings by cutting them into separate sections and then gradually ascending. And I wasn't even doing it in any particular pattern, right? I was just selecting sort of, okay, this length, and increasing by a half step to give it this.
Oh, nice. Like chromatic.
Yes, a little chromatic ramp up, and maybe a breathing heartbeat effect on the very end of the trailer. Ooh, that could be nice too. That could be nice. We were actually, someone had suggested too, record crackle. What I did today, what I added in here, and you can actually see down below. It's a combination of a couple things. If we go towards the
I will
end.
start working on the grading.
Yeah, so what? Yeah.
There is some work, so I will start working.
Perfect.
I am in the thumbnail.
Excellent. Okay, and you're already. Should we?
That's fine.
Oh, you got those side by side. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in the thumbnail. So
Okay, perfect.
nothing.
All right. So here, if you actually look at that ending, and once again, we've got a combination of the sort of the screams and the kick drum here. Turn that down a little. A lot of what really makes it stand out. And by the way, this is also pre-mastered. So while I'm working on the mix here and just kind of tweaking it, I will actually I'll do some of the mastering either here, or maybe I'll actually just throw on sort of a hard limiter, brick wall limiter in Premiere, just to amplify it a little bit more. So, but in any case, what you can actually see at the end, if I just unsolo everything here, is that, so we've got a combination of some of the ambient sounds. And this is like, and you can tell by just the frequency content in these. These are like old school kind of.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that sounds like something from Wizard of Oz, It's like this. What is this called? Yes, gentle gusts with whistle, All of these, by the way, are from the Loopology library. So we've got that in there, which kind of, that's what I was using in lieu of sort of a heartbeat or something. All right, so this is kind of underneath. And also what gives this one kind of a nice little touch is that there's some analog delay on here. So when it ends, right, and it really fades into oblivion because ultimately you're hearing this. Now this, yesterday we were using a backwards cymbal. You can see that actually I muted it today and replaced it with another combination of grouped samples from one of our Loopology sound effects libraries, which has sort of industrial and science fiction sounds. And I just needed something that was kind of creepy and something that I could ramp in amplification, and I made some destructive changes. You can actually see that I really created sort of a perfect fade-in curve on this. Okay, this is looking at it in the spectral view. So when you play this back, all right, just kind of works. And then, of course, that's punctuated by that final kick drum, which has some nice hall reverb that Michael suggested yesterday, just to kind of give it a little bit more depth and a little bit more space. Okay. And what else have we got here? Oh, and some strings. Yep. Okay. And backward strings as well. Okay. And that last little flash of white, it's kind of a... I always think of you, Mike. It's classic. It's classic technique, which is, if we zoom in here, you can just see I've got, 2 frames, really 1 frame rather, of dip to white. That's it, Don't recommend using that for transitions necessarily, but, not that it can't be used. It still is used quite a bit, but it can get a little overdone. But to end something like this, particularly horror, it offsets you, because you're in darkness. So it's pretty fun. So in any case, let's start in here and work out some of the remaining pieces. To be honest, it's pretty well along. There's not too much more that I need to do. I just wanted to hear the music mix first. Now, one thing that I didn't do this time around, I say, okay, people, no questions just yet. One of the things that I didn't do this time around was I didn't subgroup all of the music and all of these things. Largely because the session is pretty small. Like I said, you can see I've got a couple of tracks here of scream. So here's the original camera audio, which this is something maybe I'll treat now just to have your voice a little more isolated. There's so much noise from the camera mic. We can fix that. So camera kick, screams. So I have 3 tracks of screams. This is actually, I think, the sound effect. I didn't even label this here. This is the sound effect for the fly, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. Yeah, that was some. I don't know what I did with that. It's like I think it's a balloon, and I sped it up.
Yeah,
like.
Yeah, it's a balloon.
And I sped it up and did kind of a.
Oh my God.
Kind of weird effect on it, and again, what gives it that creepy life is that I added a stereo delay on this, so it's sounding kind of in your head, and then you add just a little bit of ambient reverb on this, which you can see here if we just zoom out again. Fairly large room, long decay, and a nice amount of wet signal here. And this is because it's very staccato, it's just going to trail off, and I fade it out anyway, so it's not going to linger. It's just going to kind of punctuate the scene with this creepy bug and move on. Similarly, this scene here, I was looking for something that just kind of felt, you see in films when you see something. This shot really reminds me of. This is like a Kubrick shot, right? This is very. Very Kubricky, very shining.
Lynch.
Yeah. David Lynch, absolutely, David Lynch. And I just felt like I needed the first thing that I heard in my head was that sound. When they're like, what is it? When they drop the shields. No, maybe when they raise. No, they're dropping. Anyway, it's that sound that sounds like.
Oh yeah.
Right, so it goes really into sub bass. And again, we have all these science fiction sounds. So you can actually see what it was that I used here. Science fiction, sci-fi, electronic power source, 228 volts. I mean, they're so specific, these things, But when added to this creepy clip right here, might be good if I turn my sound back on. And I kind of let it linger through those 3 hallway scenes, or it's not really a hallway, but it's kind of like a barren alleyway. Right, there's a similarity, there's a continuity with these shots. This dude walking down, is that the ghost? Who is it? Who's this creepy guy here? Now with this stuff, with the screams and things, obviously the timing is key to making that look real and successful. Strong man steps in this hallway? Absolutely. So that's another good one there. We can pull that in. Now, interestingly, I actually didn't wind up using steps for that. I wound up using, and I processed them, a combination of, I think it was, so we have all these horror sounds. No rattling chains because it just didn't really fit. I tried it. It didn't really fit. These are some kind of zombie. I think the actual file that this came from was called zombie. Well, it was a combination of things, but it was like zombie dropping guts. And it just kind of sounded like. And I thought, oh, okay, well, that kind of sounds like feet. So when played back, thumpy, stompy feet. And once again, because he's in a long, echoey hallway, you got to add reverb, right? If you take that off of there and you play that back, you can hear it. Well, yeah, Walking Dead sounds, exactly. It sounds good, but it just doesn't really fit because it doesn't look and sound like the environment that you're looking at. But when everything's in there, you can really kind of, you can hear him, 228 versus, because 227 are not as scary. I totally agree. Crazy PKR 1099. Where's Travis? Travis, I believe, is he's at VidCon. He's at VidCon right now. That is where Travis is.
Thanks for joining.
Okay. So that's right. So, and you just missed Carlos too. His session just ended. So anyway, but we were talking about this creepy guy scream here, and I think I actually still have the session, and I even wound up augmenting it with a couple more. So here is sort of what I ended up with after comping. So again, I made about 5 or 6 blank tracks, comped together a whole bunch of male screams that we have in the library. And yeah, and there's some, I think there's, oh, and there's moans in there too. Actually, yep, there's some moaning zombie in there. And have you got the accelerating heartbeat on yet? The classic. No. Oh, I'm sorry, Cockroach. Well, I'll have to play it again because there's an enormous amount of sound design since you last tuned in. And it's really coming together. Right now I'm just breaking down kind of all the elements and how I put them together. So this is the comp of all the screams. Now, the key for something like this was, it was already like a time remapped it looked like a time remapped GoPro clip.
Right.
So if I'm going to mute it for a second here. So if you look at this, really the key things, you know, everything else, I mean, what is he saying there? He's just like, but the key things that are really going to come through, they're going to make this work, are those little screaming sections, right? So ultimately what I was doing was, I was zoomed in super close and I'm scrubbing through and just looking for each frame where he began to scream, ah, and then he stops, ah, and then he does it again, and then kind of filled in the rest with what, I mean, I don't know what he's saying there, so it could be ooh, oh, ooh, you know, and just combined a bunch of things until it just kind of felt right. So if you take a listen now, when all of this stuff is in here, I'm going to leave some of those preceding sounds in there. Okay. Right. So his face is like, exactly. And really, the key things, because you can even hear there's even some devil whispering, and he's going, you know, it's just gibberish. But what your eyes will see and what your ears are really going to react to is the screaming. And because everything is dynamically linked and frame accurate between the two apps, really, really simple to nail those right in time. And here I can probably show you. Let me see if I can open up. I think it was. Let me try. Here. I'll close this. I think it might be session 3 or mix 3. I increment all of my sessions as I move along. So let's see here. Okay, I see the footsteps in there. Interesting. One scream. Okay, that's the pre. Oh, so it must be number 2. All right, let me close that again. Open number 2. I thought for sure it was 3. Okay. Yep, here it is. So here you can actually see the combination of files. So you've got horror, scary demons speak quiet. So that's the one that's making that sort of weird. And that's also time remapped, sped up a little bit. Because again, he's just kind of. All right, so that's going throughout. This is the one that we did yesterday as a temp. I didn't wind up using it. This growling monster, which was also a combination of 3 or 4 different monster sounds. But again, that was fun for the sort of temp, but it didn't work, so it didn't make it in. Then we had these here. So these are just some. Oh, these are the screams, I guess. Okay. Once again, I've got some stereo delay on here. If you listen to these without the delay, they sound very, very mono. Put them back on. Okay. And that's using a technique that I showcased in one of my Audio 101 lessons recently here on the stream. Doing, even though it's a stereo file, you can hear it's dual channel mono. There's no stereo in there. So by using basically a simple slapback delay of about 37 milliseconds, negative 37 on one channel, positive 37 on the other, and then you offset the volumes, the output mix volume, by about 10%. So one side is a little bit louder than the other. What you wind up doing is simulating stereo, even though it's originally in mono. All right, so there was that. Then I added on top of that again some kind of, this is the moan. Now this one here, this looks like this was real time. And for this, I was most concerned about getting... And if you look at his mouth right there, it just kind of fit right there. So I was looking for where there was the most amount of oh, and just kind of slid it in time until it worked. And then the last bit here, I think, is some kind of zombie moan. Yeah. I don't even know if that's necessary, to be honest with you, but it just made for kind of some cool color inside the session here. All right. So let me go back to the master. And I think I'm ready just to kind of finesse the mix. That was very weird. Damn right. It's super weird doing sound design. And you got to be creative because, sound libraries have, lots of things in them and lots of terms that you can search on. Really, it's about combinations. It's about combining different sounds, Very rarely does a sound come right out of the box and just work, save for things like lightning, and you can see it down here. So with all of the ambient sound, and I did in fact confine those to the bottom 4 tracks here. So you already heard. So in this one scene here, we have kind of all right. Right there, it's kind of this metal-looking, warehousey puddles on the floor. If there were walking in there, I would have had like puddly water effects, but there's none of that. But you see metal, you see fluorescent lighting. And this was just right out of the box. I think maybe I amplified it a little. Industry aluminum pipe vibrating. And again, that's over top of everything else. Going the whole time throughout the piece is a lightning storm. Okay. Because in many scenes it's raining. Okay. Separate tracks for the actual hits of the lightning. Okay. Wait for it. Here comes the next one. And then one more here. Okay. And that was more of a reveal kind of sound effect because Michael's ghost sort of appears there, and again, it's shaky and creepy. Elephantum Pictures. All right. And then, and then also here, let's see. So yeah, you already heard the sci-fi ambient stuff there. Here we've got some other lightning and sound effects. Okay. So here, I had already done that first lightning bolt. But there was a little flash of lightning right there. But it wasn't the same, it wasn't that same kind of lightning, so I wanted to give it a different kind of feeling. So this one is actually, again, it's actually just digital noise from the science fiction collection. Yeah, so look, it's electronic radio interference, okay? So that, coupled with a little bit of analog delay, let's play that sucker back. Pretty cool, right? So you don't get the resemblance of that fly there. That's exactly the point. Why fly? Yeah, that's right. Non sequiturs wherever we go. If you look at a lot of classic 70s movie trailers, like the B movies, right? The 70s, the midnight movies. They always had, you remember this, right? They always had cutaways to like maggots on a dead animal or something, or again it would be a fly, right? Always these strange cutaways. You'd see, bad zombies with bad zombie makeup, and in the 70s, like when they would show blood, right? It was I don't even know what they used, if it was ketchup or yeah. I mean, it was because
it was bad.
It was bad. So you had sort of bad makeup, all this like handheld zooming, which, by the way, I love that. But in the middle of something, you just see some creepy insert that really didn't make any sense. So it's a stylistic choice. So, but here's a way that you could take radio interference and with a little bit of analog delay and some of that trash that we talked about yesterday, really give it a kind of neat feeling. And then juxtaposed against the other lightning, it just sounds right. Okay, here we go. Okay, really, really nice there. And then I think the last bit here was this storm wind, and this is the one we were just playing a moment ago. And this just worked beautifully for this scene here, this time lapse. And you can see I use a lot of fade envelopes here, non-destructive fades, so stuff is overlapping. The only things that are really staccato and punctuated and even cut off are, the voices, the screaming, and then any of the things that are sort of going backwards, they end abruptly. But a good technique to prevent sort of digital clicking and stuff like that is to add a very small top and tail, a very, 1, 2, 3 sample fade out, fade in.
Oh, yeah.
So that you have no click, but you'll still have the staccato ending. And I did a bunch of that here.
So yes, yesterday you did that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. So it just adds another little color to this, and I love this. And I wound up using this almost throughout the next 3 or 4 cuts, even with the bug. Then I start to dip it down. And then by here it just kind of fades out. And it stays sort of at minus 30 until that end scene right here. Right? And then it just ends. Okay? The Fly. Hello, Mazdax. How are you? Because Fly Evil series. Very nice. All right. Hey, and good to see you, Darko, by the way. So, anyway, let's get this mix rolling here. So, I just want to start with some of the music. It's pretty much done. Again, because I had recorded it in advance. I mean, it's all from one very short string piece. The whole string piece, I think, was initially only 20 seconds. So the fact that we stretched it to 30 and had like punctuated beginning and ending is shocking. And of course, we used Adobe Remix for this. Here, let me label this. This is Fly Sound. Okay. So let's just solo the strings for the moment and hear what we have. And you can see I have a couple of copies that I used to leverage the ascending strings. This one is time remapped, stretched out 198%. This one is just a direct copy, stretched out 198%. This one stretched, slowed down 85%. Again, all in an effort to really give it this real fly like Jeff Goldblum, exactly. All in an effort to give you this.
David Cronenberg.
Oh, yeah. Yes, David Cronenberg. Damn, that looks good.
This will be
Oh, so good.
This will be cool.
I wanna curse and tell you how expletive good this clip that he just did looks. Okay, so let's take a listen to these strings and see what needs to be done to them.
Needs to be done.
You know what? I'm going to move this side by side. So now it should be kind of starting to build here.
Whoa.
Dig.
That's so good.
Yeah. And this is all volume ramps, So I think, it's always a little hard to tell in headphones whilst on stream. I think it just needs a little bit of equalization. The balance is actually pretty good. that could
So
work
is it
too.
neutral, the equalizer on the...
Yes, actually, it is flat. So
Okay, so
yeah, I
we're
mean,
pretty close.
we're pretty close. The headphones maybe not so flat, but enough to do a little subtle tweaking. I don't think it needs I don't think it needs too much. Just a little bit, maybe to roll off a little bit of some of the mid-range warmth. But that's okay too, because there's no other instrumentation playing, so we don't need to like thin it out or anything. Highlight it to the limit. We only really need to just give it a little subtle tweak, so it'll just pop a little bit more and make those crescendos pop a little bit more too.
Did it change something to the Gaussian blur?
Did they change something?
So it's very fast.
Yeah, it's accelerated now.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
Yes.
I can tell. I was expecting, the
No.
frame to freeze and wait for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's
Okay.
really it just works so well. Okay. See, this really, I mean, this doesn't really need anything. Now, for something like this, I'd probably just use the onboard EQ anyway. It's 5-band parametric. Okay, good place to start. Maybe roll off a little bit of 315 hertz. Very narrow. Just go to a Q of about 8. Okay, just a little bit. Pull this out about 3 dB. And I'll increase. Give it a little bump. You can hear that right there. That's creepy. Just a little bump at around 2700 hertz. A little 2.5K. Yes, Maker Marco 1. We are inside Audition. Got Audition running with content sent from Premiere, so it's running live streamed video into Audition from Premiere, while Michael's in Premiere doing some grading right now on the same cut. Okay. So let's see. That sounds better, and I can A/B this here. Let me wind it back a second and listen. I'm just gonna mute myself for a second. Okay, that was sounded a little more abrupt than I remembered that being. I mean, that's okay too, but it did sound a little abrupt. There we go. Better. Okay, very nice. And now you can actually hear, that the reverb that's on the strings, you can actually hear it sort of linger now, right? And everything is played in a fairly high range. I've got
linger.
Like
the ghost.
Yes, exactly, like the ghost. It's lingering, right? So this just makes it very nice. And again, that silence after this window screaming section, it's just going to add a little more drama, And I think that's perfect. So, all right, these high strings are good. That's it, done. That's how quickly we can do that. We didn't need to do much to them. All right, so let's listen to these. Now, these are the time remapped. Are these time remapped, these here? No, these are not time remapped. So this is the original piece as I played it in the original key. Now this too, if I add them together, because they're virtually playing the same thing, I don't even need to re-EQ this one. I think it actually sounds quite nice. And now you've got one that's a little cleaner, a little brighter, and one that's a little dirtier. Wendy!
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 Wendy?
All right.
A remix.
That's right.
It's the French version.
The French version.
Wendy? Wendy. Where are you, Wendy?
There it is. There.
Are you in the bathroom?
The bathroom?
Do you take a shower or what is happening? Don't be scared.
Are you on the
I'm
toilet?
just knocking on the door.
Knocking.
You could let me in.
Knocking on the door?
Yeah, knocking on the door. Let me in. I have a knife. No, it's to cook. I have a knife. It's to cut a cucumber. It's not to.
Here's Johnny.
It's not to hurt you.
Right. To hurt you.
It's Johnny in French. Yeah, that's
Johnny.
That's the French.
Johnny.
Jack.
The Jack.
It's Jacques.
Jacques. That's right.
Jacques Nicholson.
Okay. Okay. Now this was the one. You remember when we did this? We were live and we're using the real-time stretch.
Oh.
And it's dirty.
Oh
but,
yeah.
Yeah, but it works. It's actually, it really
Best
gets...
ringtone.
Best ringtone.
Wendy?
Could you imagine if that played every time? Like text message tone, So this one, again, I don't think there's really much that needs to be done to this because this has a lot of low... Actually, it's quite scooped
Bring
out.
the low.
In fact, if we pull up our frequency analysis here, it doesn't have a lot of low end at all, which is nice. So it's not overly bassy. That's usually, the kinds of things that you're going to run into with time remapped audio.
Yeah.
Right? Things, especially if you're using a real-time algorithm, it often gets a little quantized sounding. You start to hear kind of artifacts, dither type artifacts, as if you were doing sample rate conversions or early digital sample rate conversions. That's not the case this time. So, and it just adds to the creepiness. So let's just see. And of course, again, I've got some analog delay on here and phaser. Ooh, that was the essential bit, right? So we added the phaser to really emphasize that kind of swirly, swishy creepiness. If we turn all that off and play it back, it's kind of harsh, and you're actually sort of hearing the weirdness of the time remap, although that in and of itself is pretty bizarre. But put the phaser on there and a little bit of analog delay. Takes the edge off, leaves the creepiness. All right. Octart has used Audition to mix, and it is great. That is awesome to hear. Very glad to hear that. All right. And if anything on this, I don't think it needs anything. I like it kind of dark and dirty. If anything, maybe I'll just increase the volume ever so slightly here. Just a little bit more of a crescendo. 0.5 dB more, which is virtually inaudible. I'll give it a little bit more. Okay, and we've got this one down here as well, which was just a duplicate, but done with a different time remap percentage, just to, again, add a little more emphasis here. And you're probably saying, oh, but that sounds terrible. It's all dissonant and warbly. Yeah, exactly, right? So, it should be unnerving.
Such a bad composer.
Perfect. All right. And then we've got one more. Geez, how many of these did I add? All right. Just for emphasis. Okay. And again, you get that kind of... All right. And how is that achieved? Phaser. Right there. So... keep that in mind. That's the sound you're going for. A little classic phaser. And we do have some very good phaser presets. Some of them are a bit much. We tried some of them yesterday, and some of them get pretty weird. All right, so I've got a little bit of EQ on these strings. I didn't think we needed to do much, and we did not. Okay. Let's just listen. I'll put on my mastering limiter here for a minute.
beautiful.
Yeah. All right. So this here, I'm going to make a couple subtle tweaks now that that's all back in there. So this one's got a lot of, it's got some low mid-range muddiness going on. So bear with me because I got to loop this so I can play it back. I mean, I got to loop this so I can play it back. That doesn't make any sense. I have to loop it so I can EQ it. Oh, of course I don't have loop play on. Some weird stuff going on right now. And I'm actually going to roll off everything below 50 using a high-pass filter. Actually, we'll even go a little bit hotter. I don't need any of that in there. Okay, so we'll roll off a little bit at 60. And I'm going to give this a little bump at 4500, also known in some circles as the Abbey Road. Sorry. No! The Rubber Soul EQ.
Oh.
Yes. 4.5K. That's that little bump. So everything. So the vocals are so crisp. That's the frequency
Rubber
bump.
Soul?
Yep, that's Rubber Soul. You'll notice there's a very distinctive.
Which was the main song? The main song on Rubber Soul?
Drive My Car.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there were many. So Drive My Car, Norwegian Wood.
Oh, yeah, Norwegian Wood.
Think
Drive
for
My Car was the
Yourself.
hit.
But Drive My Car was, yeah. That's the opener. Let's bring this back in.
And CBR News. No, actually, the entries stop at 4 p.m. for the jam in 3 minutes. Stopping the entries, and I will reveal more winners at 5 p.m.
Okay, it's this too. This one here. Just a little bit. Just a little bit too much. Let's do the same here. I'll run a high pass.
Will Audition get MIDI tracks in the near future?
Well, I wish I could say that it would. I can tell you that it is a long-standing request. I've certainly been asking for it. We once had it. In fact, you can actually find on the Adobe on an Adobe page somewhere. We actually still offer the download of what was Audition CS3 and or Audition 3. Yeah, I don't even know that may have been before CS3 actually came out. I can't remember now, but it's Audition 3 nonetheless. And it actually had MIDI and VSTI and Rewire. It was a little unstable, to be honest. And it's Windows only. This was before we went cross-platform with everything. So but it does have those missing things. Okay. So bear with me again while I play this back and just try and smooth it out a little. Yeah, and it's right at 200. You can just hear it. So make it a little bit more narrow. All right. Let's bring everything else back in. I'm liking that. Okay, let's go ahead and save this. Save this as mix 4A. All right, just did my first ever full Photoshop paint attempt. Not very easy with a mouse, plus I'm not a painter. Cockroach films. Posted to the Creative Jam hashtag. Oh, nice. Very cool. Okay, so will we review any the last
Yeah, at
Creative
5
Jams?
p.m.
At 5. Okay, right
Yeah.
at 5. Excellent. Okay, perfect.
And I think I saw it, Cockroach Films.
You may have seen it already.
I think so. With a different name on Behance, yeah.
Okay.
I think I saw that.
All right, so I think these are... I think these are okay now. Okay, this one needs a little work. This has got some busyness going on here. And again, the reason for some of this, it's not, I mean, typically you're EQing stuff all the time anyway. I'm a big believer in if it doesn't really need it, right? Don't, if things were mic'd properly, right? Mic placement, you shouldn't have to do that much EQ. That's not an absolute,
Okay.
but good mic placement. For instruments, now of course these were played via SoftSynth, which are properly placed mics recorded, but you shouldn't have to do too much, And primarily, I'm usually doing more cutting than amplifying. Now, why would I have amplified 80? Did I do this? Why is that? Why? I don't know what that is. Okay. I'm like, I didn't do that. So it had a weird EQ on there. Scary kitties. Yeah, that's pretty creepy. So we're going to do a high pass on this. And again, this is where you can use the real-time frequency analysis here. You can see there's a lot of stuff bubbling right here, so I don't need to go too high, but I'll go to around 60. And then once again, start at around 300. You hear that? Hear how it's distorting? That's where we've got the nastiness. And just by pulling out a little bit of that, it's just going to free up some space. Okay, so let's hear the strings all together now, all right? If that wasn't unnerving enough already. Okay, hold on, let me go back here. Oh, here we can still see the video. Cool. Okay, excellent. Done. Print it, ship it, finish with the strings, save it. Okay. All right, so the strings are finished. So really, again, that's like, that's most of the music there. Everything else is the sound design. So really, at this point, I just need to listen to make sure that overall the balances are what I want them to be. But shoot, I'm pretty much done here. Okay. All right, so let's watch it again. And we're watching it, obviously, when I'm stopping, it's full res, but I'm watching it in 8th res here. It's just better performance. And remember, this is coming live from Premiere, so when I change things in Premiere, it's reflected here. And because you've got that live pipeline, I don't need to see it when it's playing back perfectly in here. I just need to be able to scrub to a frame, know that I'm on the right frame, and do my sound design. So you're just going to get better performance by and it's actually at quarter res, so it's the same concept as the Mercury playback, fractional playback resolutions. All right, let's take a look again. Okay. Now, I'll tell you what. Yeah, that's good. Maybe the crescendo could use a little bit more. Maybe. What do you think, chat? Annie Banani, love the fly. Me too. That's like my favorite. One of my favorite parts. Yeah. That, of course, and this scene right here. Ooh. Nice. I was like, whoa, what's the door right there? That's cool. That looks great.
And the flywheel has a different look. You can see.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of the orange.
Yeah, which was the native, right? So, yeah. One more reason, as we were discussing yesterday, and I can tell you this from when is the movie premiere? As soon as the script is written. What was I just saying? Oh, the fly and flat. So if you're going to become a stock contributor, you know, I know for a fact that they accept flat footage because they accepted mine. So I would recommend, you know, I mean, this fly was heavily color treated. And granted, we're working off of compressed previews, but in any case, it works. It works great. I mean, you know, and if you were to download the full resolution version, obviously the quality would be even that much better. But the Lumetri color panel makes it pretty easy to flatten things even after the fact and still get really great looking results. So let me just see. I don't need to add anything to this. I just might need to readjust some of the volume envelopes. Okay, so I don't want to add. It doesn't need any more instrumentation. It's just that by obviously EQing and attenuating certain frequencies, I didn't boost too much. You know, it will obviously change the relationships. So here's the peak right here. So I can tell you, just let's see. So on the main tremolo strings, yeah, see these are going up 3. Let's have those go up 6. Or even more. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, nice. Okay, that may have been it right there. And as I was saying, you can see I just did a little ramp right there for the purposes of topping and tailing. That'll do it. That'll do, pig. Okay. Babe. Remember that movie, Babe?
The pig?
The pig. And then there was Babe, Pig in the City.
Pig at the beach.
Yeah, that's right. I think you could add a roach image too, so you really will match the scare man. Octart, I won't because, yeah, roaches. In fact, there's a few. If you go to Adobe Stock and for video and search, I think I was searching on creepy bug. There's some really disgusting footage of like roaches on their backs and their legs. If you've ever seen a roach on its back, it's always they can't flip over, or maybe they can. I don't even want to know if they can, quite frankly, because bad
dreams.
I don't like those things. So we are thinking along the same lines, Octart. It would be super freaking scary. But yeah, I don't even like looking at them. Not even in stock footage. They feel too close. Screams are freaking out my kids. Oh, sorry, LA Smoothie. Who are you calling disgusting, says Cockroach Films. Hey, man. I can dig Cockroach Films, but the bug itself, some creepy stuff. Sharp screech on whiteout. That could work too. Okay. All right. Well, I think this is pretty good to go, Michael. So, what I'm going to do is, because I need to wait ultimately for your project file. So I'm going to save this.
You know,
Are you pretty close?
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'll save it. I'll keep working. And in fact, what I will do is I'm going to save this. This is mix 4A.
Yeah.
It's happening.
You have to record the voice.
I have to go record the voice, so I've got to step out for a minute.
Okay. So yeah, we can switch to my screen and
Yeah.
I can explain what I've been doing.
Yeah. And here, let me just...
Made some choices.
Here, you know what I need to do before I even do that?
No.
I need to... Because, of course, it would help if I could look at what you're saying.
Oh, you want to export that?
So I'm just going to... I just need to send this to myself. Okay. Here, you know what? Maybe I could... Oh, no, I have no way to feed that into the laptop. Okay. That's all right. I'm just going to send this to myself. And I really need to say it like... Yeah, that'll... It's going to be perfect. Right. Something is happening. Let me try it a few times. Then I'm just going to go out and just do it. You know what? What am I doing? Why am I wasting time?
Oh yeah.
I'm just going to do it right here. Booyah. Booyah. By the way, for those of you who are not aware, you know, now I can't speak for Android. I haven't had an Android phone in a while. And when I did have an Android phone, most of the audio recorder apps, for whatever reason, I don't know if the app was fine. I don't know if on Android, what they do in terms of like sample, you know, analog to digital conversion, what type of AD, what type of dither, probably none. So I never found a great one that sounded really good. This de facto standard voice recorder on here, it's shocking.
Yeah, all the journalists I see, you know, at conferences.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. So sometimes they add a microphone. Extension.
Yes, of course.
Sometimes.
Yep, and I've seen, and they have the XLR iRig and all that stuff. But the native mic, I mean, even on the 5, I mean, it's it's shockingly good.
Shocking good.
All right, so I'm going to play this back a few times. I'm just going to play it back and watch it in front of you and just say it. If I get it right. Something is happening. 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 Ow. Something is happening. Something is happening. That was it. I think the last one was it. Oh my God. Done. Okay. Something.
So yeah, we're so dedicated to
to
this trailer.
It's happening. Something is happening. Something is happening. Something is happening. How? Something is happening. Something is happening. The guy losing his voice. Right. Ow. Right. Okay. Oh, repeat. It goes to new levels of goosebumps. And even any, yeah. ASMR that ain't. But, you know, Alan Reed, Jace, you're killing me. Excellent. All right. So this is perfect. So here, I'm just going to send this to myself. And, in fact, yeah, let's switch over to you, Michael. And
It's a 3.
Yeah. Okay.
And Command G. G. That's good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, I was just rendering some preview files. So this was not easy. So usually, you know, when you want to, I mean, when you shoot a movie, the first thing you try to do is to have the same camera with the same settings and the same presets. And these days we try to shoot with flats, which means that you don't want your DSLR, for instance, to change the contrast or change the colors. You You just want to get what goes to the sensor directly. So that's the goal. This is something we cannot do on the iPhone, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yeah.
So on
true.
DSLR, it's good. GoPro, you have to deal with what goes with the GoPro. GoPro will add a lot of contrast. So, but what's good with Premiere is that you can have all kinds of footage and try to get the same mood. But here with Adobe stock,
Yeah.
oh my God. How many clips did we have? Like 20?
Yeah, maybe.
Wendy? 20?
20.
So 20. So 20 different cameras, 20 different settings,
Yeah.
color moods.
right.
Oh my God. Okay.
It's a lot.
So,
It's a lot.
and we just have 1 hour. So let's try to do something. Horror movie, trying to make something very cold. There was snow at some point, so I had these images in mind of Games of Thrones, something very cold like White Walkers. So I wasn't very happy. You will see with the fly and the orange, because it was popping up, and the orange was catching the eye more than the fly. So I was like, oh, it's a shame. So I worked on that, and okay, I will start showing you the before and after. Okay. So this kind of shot, this shot is by Terry, right? That's the one, right?
Yeah, that's Terry's.
That's the one by Terry.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me play the shot here. It's okay. It's very gray. I wasn't a big fan of the brown and stuff, so it turned something like this. Also, reducing the contrast to make it more cinematographic. I can say that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More faded. So maybe I can show you. How can I show you how to do this? Copy paste maybe.
Yeah. What was Rob singing before? What was he saying? What was Rob saying this morning that was so funny?
Tinderline.
Yeah, but what was he singing?
I made it to Tinderline.
Yeah, he was saying. Oh, it was the Sesame Street song.
Oh yeah.
Was he singing? Can you tell me how to get to the tenderloin? Is that what he was saying? That's hilarious.
This morning.
But what was the voice he was doing? I can't remember. It was very high pitched. Yeah, that hurts too. Okay, I'm not doing that.
Something.
Yeah, something like that. Okay.
It's the replay will be soon available on YouTube.
It was so funny.
I saw a clip too. There was a clip by CBR.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
And what was even funnier was Shauna didn't know where it was coming from.
Yeah, she was.
And because he was doing, he was like, his head was down, he's drawing, and you just hear this like.
Yeah, she thought it was on Spotify.
And you couldn't really see anything moving. That was actually pretty close.
That was cool. That was like the guy, like, what's the name? Ventriloque in French. So it's with the puppet.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Any kind of sock puppet. They usually have those kinds of voices.
No, but like.
Oh, a ventriloquist voice.
Oh, ventriloquist?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I used to.
Oh, no. Don't tell me you used to.
No, I never did it. But when I was young, I was kind of fascinated by ventriloquism. Oh, you used render and replace.
Nice. Me too.
Do you have a good workflow for working with AVC HD? Gosh, which flavor? I imagine you were doing that because you were having some issues. That's the kind of stuff, Caitlin, AVC HD is very good and it's robust, and just, again, there's so many different variations of AVC HD. A lot of times that's where I'll often do a transcode into something like our native GoPro Cineform. I don't, not knowing exactly what you were trying to do, it's hard to say, but that's typically what I do with AVC HD, just because my laptop doesn't love it quite so much. Okay, so here's the something clip.
Good. And I just show you how you can do some color grading.
Yeah,
so
please.
there's this new workspace called Color. It appeared 1 year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it the June release?
Yeah,
2015?
June release.
Yeah, 1 year ago. And
It's hard to believe it's only a year.
Oh, yeah. And it took the best from Lightroom, Speed Grade to put in one single panel. So I don't have to leave. I used to leave Premiere Pro, go to Speed Grade most of the time. Or there are also many extensions, many plugins that you can use with Premiere Pro. I was a big fan of Film Convert Pro.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I don't use it anymore because there is this new panel. So basically, this is a shot by Terry. I suspect he's using a DJI drone Yeah.
Yep, I believe so.
So the image is very crispy everywhere. There is no real mood. It's very grayish. So first you have the basic correction. So this is exactly like in Lightroom, and you can play with the control, put down the black. Okay, release the contrast. Play with the exposure. So something you would get on a picture. Okay, but this is on the clip. And then creative, you can load a look. Now you start playing with Lumetri, and you can emulate how this old film, like before digital, will behave with the light and behave with the colors. I talked to someone; it was very interesting, and she made a study about what would be the color for you of the 50s, and you have in mind like primary colors, like very strong colors, and that's because at this time there was only one film; it was Technicolor. So there was just one color grader in the world, if you wish. So one way to perceive the colors, and you have all these movies, and it was everywhere in the movie theaters. So you can have some feel by Fuji, one of the main provider, Kodak, of course. And this is by default in Premiere, and then you have very strong looks. I'm not a big fan. So we'll take the Fuji, and now you start to have some different shades of colors. So makes it interesting. And what I like is the faded film to make sure you don't have so much black, because this area, for instance, is very black. I want it to be grayed, yeah. So it adds some dust, it adds some haze, in the air. It's much better. Then what else do we have? We have the curves. So this is exactly like you would do in Photoshop. So if you are used to Photoshop, this is something you can try to boost the blue. Okay, but let's keep it neutral for the moment. Hue saturation curve, very useful. I will show it on another clip. This one doesn't really make sense. And then you have the color wheels. And this is the real work, like when you are I'm not good at color grading, but when you are a professional, you play with these wheels. So shadows would reduce them, and then what tint do you want in the shadows? Make it maybe bluish or green, just to have some reflections with the branches. And then the highlight would be mainly in the sky. Here, actually top of the screen, top of the footage. So you can go with something, you see the red is coming, just to show you. This is how you can create some contrast. So don't try to go too far. And then eventually you can also add some vignetting. So we add some just in one click. It used to be like a very painful and boring process to add vignetting in Premiere. I remember like going to Photoshop, exporting a transparent PNG file, putting on top. That was such a pain. So this is how I get this mood, and I try to have a reference in mind of a movie. So again, this is before, very neutral, and this is after. And now you start to get scared. You're like, oh my God, what's happening? Because you can't see all the details. You're like, oh my God. Same here. The green was the sky was oversaturated. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't exist in the real life. So I guess the one who made the footage wanted to do something very dramatic, but it's so saturated, so blue that it doesn't. It's not dramatic at the end. So just put some contrast, reduce the saturation. Here I don't remember what I did. Yeah, here it was too brown for me, so playing with the color wheels, adding some green and blue. I don't know if you can see it, but here in the highlights, I'm not at the center, I'm heading to the blue, shadows too, a little bit to the blue. And same for me, trying to get some reflection and warmer here. Okay, this shot is interesting. So this is the shot before. Yeah, this is coming. Beautiful shot, one of my favorites in the movie trailer. But again, you can really add some dramatic sense. So here, it's quite extreme. Shadows go to the blue-green, and highlight here. I want it to burn, to be very orange, very red. So that's why it goes to the red. And midtones to the green. So midtones are on the wall here. And this is where I can get some green. This shot, I wasn't a big fan of the shot, so I just reduced the saturation. Here, oh, here, this one is cool. Here, it's beautiful, but it's very fresh. So you feel that it's in the morning. You don't feel the danger. So again, playing with the Lumetri, putting some dark, also some vignettes, some dark, make it very intense. And the fly. So I had a big issue with the fly because it's too warm, too sunny for me, and this orange is just popping out. And I'm like, okay, but what will I do with this orange? I really don't like it. So playing with the Lumetri, I got this. So if you look at the settings, what I did, you can add some sharpness. Okay, using sharpen, it really helps here. I don't know if you can see all the details here, but adding some sharpness here, it's very crispy, very weird. I like it, some fading. And then I guess I played with the hue saturation curve. Okay, so here, this is the curve. And you can add any points, okay? So in here, I was looking for the orange here to kill it. So if you go here, it will saturate the orange, you see? So I'm not a colorist, no, but I make videos all the time. I mean, like Jason, we make videos all the time for ourselves. I mean, with the kids. I mean, with I made some short movies, but it was a long time ago that made it to some festivals, but it was before digital, before Premiere and stuff. So here you see, I catch the orange and I just want to desaturate it. And then using the color wheels, I say that my highlights, which is the orange, boom, go to the green. So completely different. You see, Jason, that's before, and that's after.
Oh.
So completely different, just using the hue saturation curve, destroying
so awesome.
the orange. Here, always the same spirit. It was... I made two tricks on this one. The location looks very cool. I really like the scenery. But so, again, pretending that the light is not very clean, it's very cold, mysterious. But also what I added is a Gaussian blur. Because by default, what I don't like is that on the side, it's very sharp.
It's too sharp. Yep.
It's too sharp, so there is no depth of field. So... It feels like you can see a zombie coming from anywhere. You know, there is no threat. So
this looks like the grade in Wayward Pines. Have you seen this show?
Yeah,
this is fantastic. it's fantastic.
So there is a mask.
That is a LUT right now.
So there is a mask. So now you can apply a Gaussian blur. It's hardware accelerated, so that's why I was so happy. It's super fast. And then I added a mask. So it's like your vision. Okay, so when you move with this shot, you feel that there is a threat because you lose the sharpness. So if something's coming like a ghost, you won't see it. That's what I liked.
Right.
Here also had to play a lot, especially with the ghost. And the shot was entirely sharp, so I wanted to just make the window sharp, like it's when you want to go there, and then the ghost arrives again in the blurry area, just using Gaussian blur and some mask. This shot wasn't very interesting, very gray. There is nothing to do with it, but yeah. So with Lumetri, I've decided to put the walls really to the blue-green in the shadows, and the highlight, which is at the end. So this is the only region with the highlight, which is the door at the end. Make it to the top. And yes, you can do it. A lot of the settings are in Camera Raw. Yeah, very good tip, all motion. So all this concept that you have with pictures, still pictures, now you have them directly in Premiere Pro. Again, Lumetri here. I just wanted to increase the contrast. I like the shadows you see on his face. But he looks ridiculous. So I increase the contrast here and faded the movie. So the black is not black. You can see here, this is not black. If I reduce the fade, the black is black. This is not very interesting with a cinematographic effect. And then increase the saturation on the wall and the shadow. So we are consistent, and we keep this shadows to the blue, highlight to the orange warmer, which is one of the best trick to create this horror movie effect. And the laundry, super scary. So actually I added some sharpness because I really like the details here to make it look even scary. Even the laundry is scary. Here for the ghost, just added some blur on the background and some opacity here. So the ghost is a little bit transparent. And for the last shot, the shot was already very, very good. So again, it was too black, so a little bit of fading. A little bit of vignetting, just a little vignette. And that's it. And for the final shot, just added, I think, the Fujifilm setting, and that's it. It was good enough. A little bit of faded film, and that's it. So yeah, so this is what I was doing while you were mixing. So did you get the voice?
It
so,
is.
Okay. So now I'm trying to figure out. So should we use Creative Cloud and then Creative Files folder, and I give you the project?
Yeah, that's it.
Should
that's
be enough.
That should be enough here. So I'm just working.
Okay, let's sync it in the cloud. So
all right.
Okay, we'll save it in my Creative Cloud folder. Where is it? Video editing. So this is a shared folder. Should I call it 6 or?
Sure. Call it 6. Yeah.
Okay.
And in fact, here, you know what? I'm going to save this as 5, and then I'll save this as 6, and there will be no 5, so that they can be consistent, the mixes.
Nice.
Then I'll say,
okay,
where's the one I need?
So you should get the movie now. Go back to your screen.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, here now, let me... Now, unfortunately, one thing that I wasn't... because I was not monitor. I forgot you can't monitor yourself, but I was very close. I should have been backed up. No, level was fine.
Oh, you're very close.
Getting a little bit of
that's
proximity distortion.
Yeah, but with the music in the background should be okay.
I think it'll be okay. So, and I'm going to use the power of some decay of the reverb there to kind of saturate it and creep it up. And in fact, so there were 2 takes that were nice.
Adobe stock video is so awesome. Yeah, and this is just a few samples, but we could go like this forever and make a trailer, like a 3-hour trailer, because there are so many good videos on Adobe stock, and you can all this preview footage. So you have the watermark. You can get them for free and create your trailers. It's a good way also to practice. How to make good videos in Premiere Pro and mix the audio. I mean, this is what we did.
So I've got it in a pan stereo here,
Nice.
so that it's real wide. All right, now you can hear a little bit of... I already took out the plosives if you were watching my screen before. The actual plosives, and there's some bass boominess, but it's all right. We'll just say that it was thunder when we were on the set. Right? All right, so let's take a listen here. It'd be nice if I take those headphones off too. Yes, don't keep earbuds in your ears when using other headphones.
Can you hear?
Yeah, here. I have these two soloed here, so here we go.
Oh, that's why.
Now, again, we could take this a step further, right? So if you want to, just on that, because we've got another 25 minutes here, if we wanted to, I have other things to do, it's never going to happen. If, if I wanted to kind of effect this even more, could go into something like this. So this is one of my favorite voice processors here. Something is happening. Something is happening. Something. Actually, that sounds pretty good. Something is happening. Something is happening. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, here, let's put the music back in and let's see. Let's see how that works. And if that's it, then I think we're like ready to go. That's my favorite. Something is happening. It needs something to extend it. It just needs it needs some delay. That's what it needs. So that's what it's going to get. Go back to the analog delay. And in fact, let's see. Let's just go to default here. So we'll keep this. Just hear this for a second. So let me see it about 40 to 5%. And maybe 38% feedback.
Well, bye, Alan. It was great.
Thanks, Alan.
Thanks for staying all day.
Yeah,
Cool.
thank you so much as always. Sorry you missed out again.
It was a long day.
It was a long day. Okay.
Hey, that's creepy. Yeah, that's the point.
Thank you. Yes. All right. So let's do this. Here. So we'll go do the same settings here. I'm actually thinking I can just ramp up the delay towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
Just so that it does. But although it seems to it actually sounds pretty good, even though it's on the whole time. Let's see. Here, let's hear both of them. Both of them. Something is happening. Something is happening. Okay. All right, now let's hear it with music. Mit music. Okay, I am going to increase the feedback. So I want to see envelopes for the analog delay. So let's increase the wet out signal on happening. All right. So so what I'm doing here is I'm automating single parameters for the delay effect.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So that's the left channel. Let's do the same down on the right. Analog delay, wet out, same spot, right on happening here. And we'll go from 45 to, let's say, about 60. You can probably even take it a little bit more. All right, let's make it a little bit more. And I'm going to increase the feedback too. So I really want that to carry. It's got to fill dead space. If you're wondering, what is he doing? It's because right? It's almost there, actually.
Yeah.
That's almost it. Here, in fact, you know what? Here, let's just amp the crap out of this. Like 82%. Yeah. You would never use like an 82% wet output of gain of delay, because then there'd just be too much. But this is sort of punctuating the end. Yeah, I think when it's mastered, it'll be okay.
I like it.
I think it's okay. So let's go with it. Okay, so we're ready. So now, because Michael has sent me the project file, let me go and close this. Are we feeling good? I know. Am I feeling good about it? All right. Let me save this first. This could all blow up in the last 20 minutes. All right, I'm going to close the Premiere project.
And in 20 minutes, so I will reveal more winners of the Creative Jam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
All right.
8 more winners.
Editing number 6.
And then I will show you some tips and tricks, what's new in Photoshop and Illustrator.
Okay.
Number 6, yeah.
All right, got it. So let's open it. Number 6. Okay, all right, yes.
Yeah,
of course. All right, okay. Okay, let's see. Everything's coming in. It's looking good. Oh,
that's good.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So now that that's in there.
So do you have the mix?
No, so now I'll send the mix back to that. I wanted to send it to that project file. So yeah, I needed your project file first. So this is where it's going to get interesting, because, okay, what I'll do now, and this is something that we did the other day too, because right now this is referencing V5. I made them all 6 so that I know which timeline I can reference. The nice thing is, it's as simple. Oh, and hold on, I want to make sure I didn't move it. I can simply link the media here.
Okay.
And I'll just relink the latest timeline.
Oh, that's it.
And something's happening. It's the same one. Click OK.
Oh. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because it's live. So it's reading the grade and on the same frame.
Dynamic link.
And if the frame had changed, that would have told me that I messed something up. Or
It tells you that
something.
something
Yeah,
is
because
wrong.
it should have been in the exact same spot.
Oh.
And it was. God, that looks amazing, dude. Nice job. Okay, so now that we have this, we can go up to multi-track. Oh, and here, I'll save this. All right, this will be officially 6.
Yeah.
All right. And we'll go to multi-track, export to Premiere Pro, and mix this down to stereo. All right. I always shorten these names. They add a whole bunch of other...
to the Proco Stereo.
Yes, other stuff in here. Now, as we mentioned yesterday, if we wanted to send the actual individual stems, each scream track, each strings with all the... You can do that.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that
Not
here.
this
We're-
case
we-
here,
we-
but
we've
of course we can.
we finished the mix here, so we'll send it back there. Having said that, of course, one other new feature that I didn't get to point out yesterday is that you have Adobe Media Encoder built in here as well. So if the edit were locked, done,
boom.
Actually, we don't have to leave Audition. We can just export it directly
the movie
from here.
with the mix.
With the mix, directly from Media Encoder, right from Audition.
Cool. That's a nice option.
It's a great option.
Yeah.
And especially, and I know a lot of, I don't know if Which Name Morwen is still here, but if you're doing stuff for any kind of broadcast application or anything like that where you're using file formats that conform to some of our smart codecs, it doesn't even have to re-render video necessarily. If there were no changes to the video made, it can actually just reattach the audio to it. So codecs like some of the ProRes codecs, some of the MXF codecs that are smart without re-rendering. Yeah. Really
because
nice.
it's in a separate layer in the file.
Correct. Super cool. Yeah, so I mean,
That's
all
smart.
the more reason now that we actually have a proper finishing audio workflow.
ProRes.
Yeah, they really did it. And it's quite a few. It's ProRes and MXF. It could be even, and not all that.
H265?
Maybe H265, because they're I'm not actually sure. Okay, so we're gonna put this in a new audio track. Yeah, I don't have any. And it's funny. The last one I named Final Remix. This will be, of course, Final Remix 2.
Of course.
Mix 2. And yeah, and you know what's funny? and this is something which I have to talk to the engineers about, because it did this before. It's not that it cut it off. It's that it didn't.
It stops at the end of the movie.
At the end of the movie, and not the tail of the reverb. So that's
Oh
interesting.
yeah, that's something.
So I exported it separately, and that's fine.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. So
Oh
that's
my
okay.
god. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know why it's.
So it doesn't predict the effect.
I don't know why it's doing that though. It should.
Yeah.
It should.
No,
so
it's something they will fix for
something
sure.
they'll fix. So all right. So let me just realign
interesting.
these. Okay.
It seems fine.
I'm gonna mute this. Okay. There we go. You can even say I made markers for myself, so it
nice.
just snaps right in there anyway. And I'll just drag this little end piece down like that.
Yeah. Good.
Oh, and yeah, I've got some weird effects on here. They're both playing simultaneously. That's why it sounds very distorted. Okay. I was going to go, what just happened? What happened to our sound? One more time. Nice. Okay. So let's go back in here. Now I think I've got a super hard limiter going on, and I don't need to add quite as much gain to this. So this is a third-party one. This is not a native Audition limiter.
Oh.
But this is a favorite of mine. It's called NewGen.
Whoa.
It's a true peak limiter. This is used in many broadcast outfits. I know people at RTL who use this for different shows on their network. I know BBC, some certain BBC shows. Actually, it was in London doing stuff for the BBC.
In France?
RTL in France,
Yeah,
and in
it's
Germany
#1.
as well. Yeah.
Oh.
In fact, we did a show. There's a show where the audio was recorded. I think it's in Germany though, or maybe Austria, called Anne's Kitchen, and all the post audio was mixed in Audition.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, really cool. And it's funny. They gave us the session. I can't show it. We did it for an internal thing, but it had all these NewGen plugins that I didn't have at the time. So I went, oh, okay, that's cool. I checked it, and it's phenomenal. And it's a true peak limiter, so it conforms to the EBU loudness
all the
broadcast.
standards.
Exactly, all the standards. It has presets. It even has presets for delivering the mastered for iTunes flag. That's what these are. They conform to the settings of that. Now, there's something else that you have to do with your files with iTunes to make it actually receive that moniker.
Hey, Sid.
Hey, Sid.
Have a creative resident with us.
All right, so let's see.
Sid, we are making a movie trailer at the end. I mean, we started on Tuesday. Nice.
Okay. All right, so as you might expect, we're going to have to do a little render on this to really play this back.
Yeah.
I mean, we can look at it at let me see if I can play it at quarter res. The thing is, I want to put on some of the other effects too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see if we can play it back now. Oh God, that looks good.
Now you have Lumetri, so
Yes.
I don't know if you can play it back.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, let me make sure I don't have. This is another tip too. This you actually want if you're looking for pixel perfection on output in the program monitor. It's not that when you're at full res and that is unchecked. There is. I can't explain why. One of the engineers will have to come in here one of these days. But when you're at full res and you don't have that checked, you're seeing great quality, but technically you're not seeing. There's something that's missing. So that's why they put this in there. This is very heavy,
Which
though.
means like, now is it steps of 2? No, not steps. It's just like someone knocking on the door, like Wendy.
All right, let's see. Let's see if we can get playback. We're dropping frames.
It's dark. That's good.
I like it.
Oh my god.
I like it. Okay.
You want to render it?
I'm going to render it. And you know what I'm going to do, too? So here, I just need to make this bigger. Damn you, UI. There's just too many. There's too much. Now I got to mess this whole thing up. I put some of those, like, scratches and things on there. I want to put them back in, which just might add a little more color.
Yeah.
Not literally. Let's see. Maybe I have them. Or did you delete the misfires?
No.
Okay, they're still on there. Okay, so let's just see. I don't know where I had them now.
Oh, maybe they are back, no?
Maybe I didn't have them. I know it was on the fly. Okay, no, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, no.
So it was on the fly.
Good.
All right, some creepiness there. Okay, that's the Lumetri you added there. Okay.
There is vigneting issue.
Because I have the misfire vignette, so I will take that off. Very good. Okay. Okay.
Maybe here.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Oh, and that one was already enabled too, so
No, that's good.
that's okay. Yep, it's all there. All right. Yep, this has the splotches, the gate weave. Oh, and it all just
nice.
stayed. Yeah, that's fantastic. And it
Great.
even stayed in its on state. That's crazy.
Legacy of Pi. No, sorry, I was confused with Adobe Animate. I thought it was Illustrator, but it was Adobe Animate. Didn't find it. Are you gonna buy the stock? Oh no. No, because it's not a real movie. It's
Right.
it would have been for a customer. Yeah, of course you license the stock, but in this case we just stick to the previews.
That's
just
right.
for the exercise.
Just for the exercise.
And it's a good promo video for Adobe stock.
I think so.
No?
Okay,
So scary.
everything.
And there is Robert De Niro inside. I mean, that's something for Adobe stock. It could be a huge boost.
It's a huge boost. We could,
I mean, Bob De Niro,
from 55 million pieces of content to 110 overnight.
thanks to you,
Thanks to you.
contributors.
Thanks to all of you.
Thanks to Bob.
That's right. Okay, so hey, and we've
I know
got-
it would be more scary without the logo, but still.
Okay. Right.
yeah.
And the text would be a little more legible.
It would be a
without the logo on the
very expensive
Yeah. Yes.
effect.
Okay. So, so while we're waiting here, it looks like it's going to take about 3 minutes or so. That's not bad, give or take. I imagine some of these sections it'll plow through a little bit faster. This has been an amazing week so far. I mean,
Oh my
we've only
God.
got another hour and 7 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Photoshop and Illustrator, new features coming up.
We'll also at 5 I will also reveal
Oh, and
new
I guess,
winners
and at 5 we will reveal
of
the winners.
Creative
Yes.
Jam.
Okay.
Then I will show some Photoshop.
We can actually
Illustrator.
even go over a minute or two if the render dictated it. I don't think it will.
Oh
though.
yeah,
It
that's
looks like-
fine.
Actually, look, it's
Perfectly
saying
fine.
it's only 1 minute and 48. We have actually.
Oh, that's fast.
Yeah, that's pretty fast. This is the other thing too. In this latest release, you're just going to find that things are, especially in Premiere and After Effects, just faster, more responsive. Like you said, the Gaussian blur, Lumetri itself just feels. It felt good, but it really just feels so much more robust. And I do a lot of rendering right inside Media Encoder via export
okay.
without queuing, right? So that's where it takes all resources. You're still in the modal dialogue. It's very fast. It's super fast. It's faster. It feels faster than it did even in the previous version. So, and of course now you've got, and you have all this destination publishing, so you can publish to YouTube, to Vimeo, to Facebook, FTP, Creative Cloud, of course. We were supposed to have destination publishing to Twitter. I don't know that I didn't see it in the list there, so I don't know if it made it in or not. But Michael Shez De Niro.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Be fast. Scared promo sounds good, Octart. Thank you very much. Yes, very cool. All right. Another, here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Let's do some beatboxing. Really. Yeah, put the sound. Okay, remix live.
Live. Oh, nice. And that was the end of the song. Look at that.
Yeah, well.
Hit.
That's what I call a transition.
That's right. Perfect
DJ.
transition. That's right.
Okay,
Single-handed.
give me the beat.
That's right. Hand is off
Ooh.
to.
You need to.
Oh yeah, again.
Oh yeah.
This one's a lot faster. I was doing that manually, but
Yeah, that was cool. Here. Twitch.tv. With the French dude.
that's right.
Yes. Yes, welcome back. We are here on twitch.tv/Adobe. This is the French television for the Adobe fans. Make sure to stay with us.
Adobe Twitch. Rendering.
Premiere Pro.
42 seconds to go.
So we're rendering the movie and then.
Oh, hey, Synapse is here.
Oh, Synapse, yeah.
Synapse. That's a lot of feedback.
Oh,
we
yeah.
don't. It might be adjustable on there. I don't know how you get into the parameters entirely.
Hey, Sayaluna. You won, by the way. I don't know if you were on air,
She did.
but when you announced that you are one of the winner of the
Yes.
Creative Jam, so
She pinged.
I'll send you a
Yep.
message.
The Funky Monkey song.
Oh. Jason,
It's called.
It's rendered.
It's called Blank by Disfigure,
there's still echo.
or vice versa.
Mine.
Sorry. All right, let's watch this sucker, and we're gonna watch it in full quality in cinema mode.
Ah,
Yes.
finally.
Here we go. So
We
this
made
is-
it.
We made it. Ooh, with
We
2
made
minutes
it.
to spare. Here is the movie trailer for Something's Happening.
Okay, you could mute off.
Oh yeah, let's mute it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I'm very pleased with that.
Yeah.
All Adobe stock.
Yeah. Now we need to write the script.
Yeah.
What is this movie about?
Uh-oh, are they asking?
Mute. Are you on mute?
No. Where'd the music go?
Where the music
Where'd
goes.
the music go? Oh, I stopped it.
Oh, that's fine. Yes! We made it, Jason. That's
Thank
some
you.
high-level production there. Hollywood.
Oh yes, Sayaluna was Flash McFly.
Yeah, that was the
yeah,
comic
yeah,
strip.
yeah,
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 It was great.
Fantastic. This has been immense to watch the making of this.
Yeah.
It was our pleasure. Annie Banani, thank you. Chibi Dream, Sayaluna, Octart, Bicycle.
Oh my god. Now we need to publish it.
Now we need to. Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely.
We're not on the Creative Cloud channel.
no.
They won't like it.
They won't like it. So
They won't
we'll
like
publish
it.
it to both of our respective YouTube
Yeah,
channels.
let's do that.
And that'll be a lot of fun.
It will be better.
And now it's and here I'll save that too, so I can save all the render files. Okay.
Okay, it's time for the last show.
The last show. So
Of the
should
Creative
you want
Jam.
to stop the recording and restart? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay, so stay with us. I will be back in 30 seconds. Time to switch.
Do we actually want to switch anything here, or?
You can stop